Before we start, please watch my previous video. The link will be in the description.
Alright, Jeopardy's first Professors Tournament is taking place, and I thought it'd be a tournament I should keep track of because it is a first. I'm surprised it took this long. I like how there's a Teachers Tournament and a Professors Tournament. I'm also keeping track because Mayim is the hostess again. I missed seeing her. Now, before we get to anything else, I'm going to address two important things. The first is Jeopardy uploaded a video titled Mayim shares her thoughts on academia and the Professors Tournament. This was uploaded after the first night aired. In the interview, she tells us, "I'm the child of two public school teachers. My parents had a combined about 70 years of public school service as English teachers, and they started teaching in the Bronx and in Harlem. My mother taught in the women's prison. I grew up believing that teachers were not just people who taught things, but people who guided you in your journey in education and in life. I definitely felt a bit of an itch to be back in an academic setting, being surrounded by so much knowledge and also such enthusiastic professors. It reminded me of the best academia, and that's really what we have here. So I guess it's serendipity that she hosts the professors tournament when her parents were teachers. Maybe she could also host for the teachers tournament. It's really funny how that worked. The second address I need to make is I noticed a lot of criticism of Mayim as the hostess. Fans were saying they miss Ken as the host. One common complaint is Mayim appears to be playing the role as the host instead of actually being the host. My question is, how can you tell the difference? Maybe they're saying this because they're so used to her being an actress. I'll do a different video on that. All that being said, the first Professors Tournament took place Monday, December 6th. The contestants consisted of Gary Hollis, professor at Roanoke College in Virginia, Gautam, professor at Vanderbilt Law School in Tennessee, and Hester Blum, professor at Penn State University. My introduction was, "We interrupt the impressive run of our current champion to bring you a brand new competition, the Jeopardy's Professors Tournament. It is these educators' higher learning that have aided the journey of many of the great contestants on this stage, so it seems only fitting that we feature a tournament highlighting them. For the next 2 weeks, 15 talented professors from across the country will test their knowledge for a chance at $100,000 and a spot in our next Tournament of Champions." Right when Mayim informed us the impressive run of the current champion is interrupted, I realized how much I miss hearing her introductions throughout the season. Ken's great too. I just got so used to both. To remove one's hat as a greeting. That has a name I didn't know. I also didn't know the term elbow grease dated all the way back to 1672. Gary got the first daily double, bet 1,500, answered correctly, and went to $6,500. Gary out of the first round winning. I just realized they're all professors and they're still being called by their first names. Moreover, I've been calling them by their first names throughout the video. Gary ended the first round winning $7,900. Gautam was in second place at $2,200, and Hester was in third at $1,400. Hester got the first daily double in Double Jeopardy. She risked $2,000, answered correctly, and that took her to $7,000. I love how she claps for herself. Not a lot of contestants do that.
He got both daily doubles.
Gary found the second daily double exactly 2 minutes after the first. He wagered $1,700, answered correctly, and went to $19,400. Yay, it ended in an even number again. Hester ended Double Jeopardy winning $8,600. Gary was in lead at $21,000. The final Jeopardy category was aesthetic movements. The question was, this turn of the century movement was alternately known as the Neue Kunst and Modernista. I can't think of anything. The answer was Art Nouveau. That is phonetically correct, so we'll accept that. Hester was the only one to answer correctly, and her final score was $12,000. Gary answered Art Deco, risked only $1,000, and still won at $20,000, and he advanced to the semifinals. Night 2, the contestants consisted of Katie Reed, professor at Cal State Fullerton, John Harmless, professor at Howard State University in Washington, D.C., Marti, professor at Northern Arizona University.
Katie, you will pick first.
Let's have pop culture for 600.
Katie's voice sounds really sweet. John answers, then Katie dominates, then John answers a few. The first answer to be incorrect was right before the first commercial break, which was odd. The daily double was found right after the mini anecdotal interviews.
Find balance in her life was published in Spanish as Come, Reza, Ama.
By the way, Mayim is pronounced Come, Reza, Ama. She pronounced vigilante in a different night.
What is Eat, Pray, Love? That's correct.
I love how the numbers are 2,400 and 4,200. One of the categories was I've Got a Theory, and I immediately thought of the Big Bang Theory and was waiting for it. On the other hand, John answered a question correctly, and Mayim told him, "I'm very glad you got that right, John." John got the first daily double in Double Jeopardy, wagered $2,000, which brought him to $7,600. Katie started dominating throughout Double Jeopardy in a streak that led her to a tie in first place at $10,400. It's weird how almost none of the questions were answered incorrectly. These professors really know their information. Katie found the daily double. Mayim points out, this has been a very close game. Katie, you're in the lead. How much will you wager? She bet 1,600. Unfortunately answered wrong, and went back down to 12,000. Again, a tie in first place. Katie ended Double Jeopardy winning $14,000. The final Jeopardy category was old geographic names. The question was, this term once used for Western North Africa is still used today in the name of a primate from that region. My guess was Sudan. The answer was Barbary. Marti was the only one to answer correctly. She bet $3,000 and that took her to $13,400, and she's now a semifinalist. Marti Canipe won tonight's game. Katie Reed actually came quite close. I would have loved for her to win. Night 3, the contestants consisted of Ashley Lawrence Sanders, professor at University of Colorado, Lisa Dresner, professor at Hofstra University, Sam Buttery, professor at Naval Postgraduate School. Ashley got the daily double at the very last second. She wagered $1,000 and went to $2,400. Ashley had the first round at $4,000. Sam was in first place at $8,000, and Lisa was in third place at $1,400. Lisa got the first daily double in Double Jeopardy. She made it a true daily double, and the question was obvious. She answered correctly, and that took her to $2,800. Ashley got the second daily double, risked $2,000, and went down to $3,200. This is how Double Jeopardy ended. Sam was in first place at $22,400. Lisa was in second place at $6,400. And Ashley was in third at $3,200. The final Jeopardy category was 20th century people. The question was, General MacArthur said this man's death by violence is one of those bitter anachronisms that seems to refute all logic. Since he's a general, my only guess was someone who died in a war. None of the contestants answered correctly. As you can see, Lisa and Ashley both risked it all and went down to zero. The answer was Mahatma Gandhi. Sam didn't risk anything, and he's now a semifinalist. Night 4, the contestants consisted of Julia Williams, professor at Rose Holman Institute of Technology in Terre Haute, Indiana. Ed Hashima, professor at American River College in Sacramento, California. Ramon Guerra, professor at University of Nebraska at Omaha. Ramon Guerra, his last name is War? I love how right after the mini anecdotal interviews, Mayim smiles and tells Julia, I still don't really understand that, but okay. My reaction whenever I see a Final Jeopardy question sometimes.
He got both daily doubles.
Ed actually got all 3 of the daily doubles. The first daily double, he risked $1,200, answered wrong, and was still in first place at $4,800. The first daily double in Double Jeopardy, Ed answered correctly, and that took him to $13,000. The second daily double in Double Jeopardy, Ed wagered only $1,200, answered right, and went to $27,400. The last question wasn't answered in Double Jeopardy. Ed was in first place at $27,400. Julia was in second place at $5,800, and Ramon was in third place at $1,400. The final Jeopardy category was 1950s public works. The question was, dubbed the greatest construction show on Earth when completed, it connects Minnesota to Montreal. I can't guess the Hoover Dam. That's not even historically or geographically correct. The answer was St. Louis Seaway. Ed was the only one to answer correctly. He bet $4,700, and his final score was $32,100. 3-2-1. 3-2-1-0. I think this is the highest any professor won at the Professors Tournament. The contestants consisted of Deborah Steinberger, professor at University of Delaware, Alyssa Hovey, professor at Warren Wilson College, J.P. Allen, professor at University of San Francisco. Deborah's voice is really sweet. Deborah sounds really sweet.
800.
For a true daily double.
Deborah got the first daily double. It was a gimme and it was technically a true daily double, and it went from $800 to $1,600. She is now tied in second place at $1,600. None of the contestants answered the last question correctly. Deborah was in the lead at $6,200 at the end of the first round. Yes! JP was in second at $4,200, and Alyssa was in third at $3,000. Alyssa got the daily double, risked $3,000, and went to $12,400. I liked her reaction after answering correctly. Kind of reminds me of Anna Raffner's. Deborah got the other daily double. She risked $3,000, and that took her to $13,600. It's a really close game. Alyssa entered Double Jeopardy winning $16,400. JP was barely in the lead at $17,400, and Deborah was in third at $14,800. No. The final Jeopardy category was 19th century British authors. The question was, she called herself the daughter of two persons distinguished literary celebrity in an introduction to one of her novels. I should know this. Come on, I should know this. It's not any of the Bronte sisters. I'm running out of ideas. The answer was Mary Shelley in the introduction of Frankenstein novel? How could I have missed that? You know what it is? I was actually planning to do a Halloween series where we took a look at spooky literature. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein was going to be one of the novels I analyzed. I canceled it because I simply didn't have enough time because of Madame Modio and Jonathan Fisher's streaks and my personal life. I should have just started in June. I would have definitely gotten this correct if I had done the series I planned to. Alyssa was the only one to answer correctly. I was hoping Deborah would win. I like JP's facial expressions. You know what? I would have hoped he won too. Well, there's a surprise. And a twist. They all made it to the semifinals. Yes, Katie Reed did too. I love how much support the professors have for each other. Just look at their reactions. This is truly an amazing tournament. Even my Aunt Alec is excited. So, this concludes week 1 of the professors tournament. Tune in next time, and we'll take a look at the semifinals. And as always, thank you for watching.